Hello everyone, going to give you our update here at City Hall on this Friday. Going to change it up a little bit and talk about the storm we had yesterday, and I know there was a lot of people who had outages, and I know how inconvenient that is and so forth, and I appreciate your patience and everything, but I wanted to share some numbers with you to kind of give you an overview of what we deal with operating the utility on your behalf. And the major problems started about 1 a.m. Thursday morning, and from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. we had over 1,100 outages, and by 8 a.m. that had been reduced to less than 80. So think about that. These guys are working in an ice storm in the dark, and we're able to get over 1,000 people back up and their service restored in about a 3 or 4 hour period of time. Great work on their part. So things were kind of going okay until about 10:30 yesterday morning, when we had a tree go down off of Highway 245. That took 700 customers out in the 245 area, Salem Hills, and Old Bloomfield Road, and some of that area. But again, that happened about 10:30, and by 12:30, all of those people were restored. There was a tree went down in a very remote area. We actually had to fly a drone to find that. Not a very easily accessible area. Couldn't get our bucket trucks or anything there. So that was, things were going pretty well. Finally, about 2 o'clock, we got Wellington back up and going. That had been the one area that had the most customers out. We had several factors there. Two poles had been damaged. And then one of the overhead lines that was, again, in a very uneasy to access area between Windsor Avenue and Limestone, basically in that hillside area and very rough ravine area, was out. So that's why that area took so long. But by 2 o'clock yesterday, they were restored with power. We thought things were in pretty good shape until last evening. At about 8 o'clock, we lost 200 more customers in the Edgewood area. And again, the damage came from a tree damage to some lines, again in a very hard to access area between Edgewood and South 4th Street. But we got that area restored at about 11 o'clock. So all told, we had over 2,000 customers out between 1 a.m. Thursday morning, but by 11 o'clock last night, all these customers were restored. So what I want to say is you really got to appreciate the people that are working on your behalf. Some of these guys worked throughout their day shift on Wednesday. They were back here working at midnight all day yesterday, restoring power. Our street crews pre-treated the roads about 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. Went back to treating them formally about 1 a.m. and worked all day long yesterday. And then lastly, we have the ladies who are our customer service reps. Many of those ladies worked their full shift on Wednesday, stayed here after work on Wednesday, spent the entire evening here Wednesday night, started fielding all those calls. You can imagine hundreds of calls came in. Starting about 1 a.m. and then they went out throughout the day as these outages would get restored, and then a new one would come. And I know it's aggravating and to you calling in, but if you can imagine when you have 900 people go out, the number of calls come in, and then 700 customers go out, and all the calls come in, and then 200 more last evening. But you've got dedicated people, and I can't say enough about our electrical, cable, internet, our street crews, and our customer service reps who put out those kind of hours without a lot of rest and a lot of sleep, working around the clock to get our city's electrical and cable and internet restored and do the work orders from the phone calls that come in. Also, our fire and police crews had to be out because of trees down and live wires being in the street, and had to kind of stabilize those areas. And so it's a full team effort. I appreciate your all's patience, but I hope you all will share my appreciation to the staff here at City Hall who worked so tirelessly to help mitigate what was a really a very tough storm to work. And be careful, because Monday we're expecting some major snow, that on top of all this, we don't get a lot of melt on the lines and the trees. We could have another round of outages because of the weight from snow on top of these trees. And so we appreciate, keep on the watch out for that. And but we'll be resting up, and rest assured we'll be ready to work if we have another outage like we did yesterday. Normally we talk about COVID on Friday, so that's what we're going to move to now. The last numbers I saw, we had 4,288 cases here in Nelson County. 395 are active. That's up from last week's numbers that I gave you. And we have had 30 deceased since the outbreak of the pandemic. Some good news on the vaccine front, although we don't have any major locations here in Nelson County yet. The governor announced 6 more regional sites yesterday, 2 more in Louisville, 4 more around the state, but also included in his announcements were 10 new Kroger sites, 15 Walmart sites, and 125 pharmacies will be ramping up their ability to distribute vaccines. So that's good news for us here in Bardstown and Nelson County. While you can't maybe go to any place right now here, these regional sites and these Krogers and Walmarts, along with Baptist Health, you can go to vaccine.ky.gov and get an appointment. But you need to be diligent. Check those sites, check that site daily, and you will find some openings. I hear all the time people here in Nelson County are being able to go to Louisville and Lexington and get the vaccine. So be diligent on that. We had a vaccine through Lincoln Trail Health Department scheduled for today at the Fairgrounds. Unfortunately, because of the weather, it had to be canceled, and it's going to get rescheduled for Tuesday the 16th. So if you had a reservation for a vaccine today at the Fairgrounds through the Health Department, they are going to reschedule that for the 16th. More good news for those of you who are having a difficult time paying your utility bills as well as your rent. The governor announced another Healthy at Home Eviction Relief Fund. They have added $264 million here in Kentucky for that fund to provide relief to those people who are having a hard time paying their utility bills as well as their rent as a result of the pandemic, and many have lost work, or many are on restricted work or home quarantined or whatever. That application process will start on February the 15th. The site, and we will post this on our website if you want to go to our city website, it's teamkyhherf.ky.gov. That's where you can apply for this Healthy at Home Eviction Relief Fund grants. So check into our website. We'll have that up later today, and hopefully you'll get some relief for those of you that need that. So a lot happening here this week. Some good news, though, on the vaccine front. I'm happy to report that almost everybody who was out yesterday's power has been restored as of about 11 o'clock last night. Stay safe, stay warm. We've got a tough weekend coming, and have a great weekend. Thank you.